the transfer hype people. Transfer news. Tomiyasu actually doesn't give us much going forward. Yes, he does. He might be a steady Eddie, and he could do a lot going forward. But you remember the goal he set up for Smith Rowe? You remember how he goes into midfield and Tierney's being narrow? He's got a better partnership than a lot of people with Saka. I know he's a bit basic going forward, but what are you talking about? What are you talking about there? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, my brother. I really don't know about that. What Arsenal are you watching? Arsenal fans couldn't stop showing you these fancy scribbled images of Tomiyasu going into midfield, which Zinchenko might do, actually. And obviously Tierney bombing down there. I don't know what's going on, but you are right. He does make us better defensively. And one thing I like about Tomiyasu, especially away from home, is they try to pop it over his head. It's not going to bank, really and truly. Cedric, you see what the problem is. We have too many centre-backs, in my opinion. Do we? I think we could actually, if you signed a right back, if we could have signed every I would want. Right wing, centre mid. Zinchenko's there, so we won't say left back. Right wing, centre mid, right back. Yeah, man. If you could, I'd be open. Do all them areas, centre back as well. Because what? Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White. Let's assume that again, they're not all going to stay fit. They're not all going to have good form. That's 3 centre backs I really believe in. Tomiyasu can do a job there. He is a flight risk with his injuries. Tierney to a degree the same. You've got Holding where anytime it's not a back three, there's a bit of a tax. Arteta was clearly prepared to spend 50 million upwards until United beat us to it on Lisandro Martinez. Now we can waffle about the fact that he can play left back and in the 6th row. He played 12 times at left back. As much as maybe Arteta was going to craft them into that role, it's probably a bit naive to expect the man who primarily plays as a centre-half, who has played the bulk of his games as a centre-half, who is left-sided a bit like Marie. It's naive to expect Arteta not to consider using him there. So I hear you, but do we? Do we really? Do we really? My brother, a lot of people need to learn the basics. Bellerin, go learn the basics somewhere else, blood. Not here, though. I would love Sane, but it's dream chasing, bro. It's dream chasing. It's dream chasing, man. Don't do it to yourselves. You're all better than that. I believe in you lot, people. You're all better than that. But yeah, let's get into the transfer news, man. I promise. Let's start with Mikel Arteta. Please, Google Chrome. You've been on a good run. Please don't start the freezing thing. Again, Arteta spoke on Zinchenko, people. I can't see a damn thing. What has he said? As you've seen, he is here. There are still a few formalities to get everything completed, but we are really happy to have him. I know the player really well. He's an exceptional footballer, and he is someone that is going to bring as well another competitive edge to that dressing room. We need that, really and truly. You're a leader for Ukraine. You're going to have to be one of our most experienced players. He can play in both defense and midfield. He was a natural 10 early in his career, and we converted him into a left back, which can do a lot of things that we want in our way of playing. I mean, I don't think he's good defensively like that, but it's better than what we could have, and I'm happy with Zinchenko. That versatility, and he can actually do it. Certain man can play bare roles, but they're not good at none of it. He can do a job at left back. He can play in centre mid. He puts pressure with Fabio Vieira on Odegaard, on Smith Rowe, because they all probably, you said where you want to play, it's probably 3 in the 10, but they can all do other things. That versatility is something that is going to be important for the team because we have players in that position who are more specific fullbacks, so I'm really happy. Fair enough. What has Mikel Arteta said? Mikel Arteta on transfers, Jesus, America tour, and Saliba. We just spoke about Zinchenko. I'll skip them out. We spoke about that as well, really and truly. Let's scroll all the way down. On if there are more signings to come, I don't know. It's what we have today. He's never going to say anything less. We have a large squad, so we have to make some decisions as well on players that are not going to be using consistently and to be fair and straight with them. And that's a process that's going to start very soon. So again, Nelson, Pepe, Ainsley, Marie, we're at where we're at, with a lot of these players. On outgoings, he said we have a big squad and now we have decisions to make, and we might see some man go out on loan. Tavares, maybe Marquinhos, maybe Lokonga, even though I don't think it's a that thing. So yeah, man, it is what it is, really. On versatility in the new signings, it's one of the things, and the way we can adapt structures, formations, and rotations within the squad and playing with the same players in a different way to be more unpredictable. Can we be unpredictable for the opponents next season? Because sometimes we're a bit unpredictable for our fans, positively and negatively. I look at Chelsea away, United at home, City until they came back from behind. Sometimes can we be a bit predictable for us fans within the squad and playing with the same players in a different way to be more unpredictable is obviously important, and that's why we have recruited those players. He then obviously, we know there's an impact with the 5 subs rule. We don't actually know how it's going to happen, but you need to be prepared for such. On Sambi Lokonga, we are trying where he fits comfortable and can develop in the best possible way. He's really comfortable playing in that position, and we want to try and see what he can bring in that position as well. Come on now, man. Like, man, 8, 6 or nothing. And let him lock down the 6, then groom him into that 8 role. But, we've got dons here now. We don't need none of that, man. Come on, man. Ain't no one trying to see Lokonga trying to set up Jesus and them thing there. Partey, take little bro under your wing, craft him, make him 30. It's true that now we are missing Emil and Fabio, so that position was a little bit short, and he's done well. So hopefully that means he only plays there if it's Banduli settings. On Torreira's future, he's our player. He's not going to say anything different. We know what it is, people. He spoke on Jesus and Nketiah being used as a strike partnership. It is something we need to be able to do, people. And I do like the developing relationship with them, with the celebrations and just in general. We want to build those relationships, and they haven't played a lot of minutes together yet. The same with Martin and Gabby, for example. We have to start to do that. We obviously do it in training, but to put it into practice in matches is important. And you can see that they're finding themselves with good timing, and it's important because they're 2 players with a big goal threat. Obviously, I'm not going to read that about preseason. We know it's a chance to see our fans stateside. We know what preseason is needed for as well. On Saliba's contract, we always have a plan and we have to execute it. That's a different story. I mean, you hope Saka, Saliba, Martinelli get new deals. That's a different story. And football is a really funny game, and we are really happy to have him. And you can see the way he's adapting, the way he's matured, and he's playing well, and we're delighted to have him. Not really let's not gas it, not the biggest of case studies to go off yesterday, but you can only play what's in front of you, and not that he was tested, because everyone who came on in the second half is actually good. But composed, doing what he can in it. On the targets for the upcoming season, our target at this club is to win competitions. He said it. I don't want to hear nothing else. It can't be anything other than that. And the way we are building the squad is to achieve that. Today, we are still in pre-season. The window is not closed. The squad is not closed. And we set our target internally, but they won't be at the end of the season. It will be much shorter because that's still too far. I mean, my English is poor, but, it's meant to be T-double-O there. Too far, and a lot of things can happen. So that's Mikel Arteta on whatever in it. Let's make sure we ain't missed nothing else out. He then said there's a lot of things to improve. I think I got that already. And I like that with Arteta. It's going well, but there are a lot of things to improve in terms of consistency. The level that we play from minute 0 to 95 has still to improve. Physically, still we are not there because we haven't loaded the players with 90 minutes yet. But there's a lot of positive signs at the same time. He said right from the beginning, it was very lively from both supporters, but we suffered in the first half physically. We didn't pick up rhythm. It's warm, it's humid, and we didn't show the determination to play the way we wanted. That last sentence, we didn't show the determination to play the way we wanted. If I was a player who started in that first half, boy, the game was open, but the second half was completely different. Again, if I was a player that played in the second half, boy, we took control of the game and played the way we wanted. It's telling you, man in the first half played shit. You, man, played better in the second. We generated so many chances and the boys enjoyed it more. That tells you everything, innit? Once again, Arsenal set to sign Zinchenko. So I'm not going to keep reading that. He knows he's our player. At this point, we just need Arsenal.com to announce it, really and truly, so we can move away from that. We've spoken on that. Some of you wanted to hear what Fabio Vieira said. He's itching to make his debut. On his injury, he said, it's been good. Everyone has welcomed me. I'm ready to start this new challenge. It's a small injury I picked up 1 month ago with the national team, but now I feel better, and in a few days I will come back. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get started and play with our supporters at the Emirates Stadium. It's an honor for me to be here. Then spoke about integrating into the team. It's been good. We have some Brazilian, Portuguese, and Spanish players, so it's easy for me, obviously, culturally. They help me with the language, so I'm very happy. My English is not good, but I promise I want to learn. Big up you for that. I don't know what's all this about. I started to play when I was 5 years old, and when I was 7, Porto contacted me until now. So I spent 15 years there. We won the UEFA Youth League in 2018-19. That's when a lot of us got to see him, which was a big moment for Portuguese football and for me too. It's an honour and a pleasure for me to win that competition. I remember, who's the lad that went to Anderlecht from Wolves? He badded up Spurs in that competition once. And that's how the competition I found out about Karim Adeyemi. Growing up, I liked Ronaldo and Messi. Messi because I'm like him in the way we play, obviously. Pardon me, he's not comparing himself to Messi, but it is. You're not helping yourself. I like that though. And Ronaldo, not because he's Portuguese, but I appreciate him. He's an example for everyone. Works hard every day and has a strong mentality. Last season was my best season because I scored so many goals and had so many assists. So now I'm ready to do this challenge for Arsenal. He then went on to say, I like to score, but I prefer to assist. I like to do the last pass, and this is one of my best characteristics. I want to achieve getting into the Champions League. It's really important for this club. We deserve it. And I don't know if we deserve it, but the fans do. You know, for the players, work hard, things happen, innit? We have to work hard every day to achieve that. Every game is for the win, and at Arsenal, it's the same. Every game and every day and every training session, I'll try to do my best and have the mentality to win every day. So, yeah, that's that, man. Away from what Arsenal.com has said. I think at this point, you've all saw Nuno Tavares has been linked with Brighton. I mean, for obvious reasons, that would be a good look for him. All right, come on, man. Google Translate, help me out. What's going on? But yeah, obviously I can't read whatever this is in it, but he's been linked with Brighton. That would be a good move for him. Obviously, you get to play games, you get to make mistakes where obviously it doesn't affect us. Some Brighton journalists have poured cold water on this, admittedly, folks. But you never know. I don't know why Google Translate ain't helping me, but if we remove this, that's the original source of the article. And we go here and just look at the Metro again. Allegedly, Brighton, according to reports in Portugal, Brighton are in talks with Arsenal over a loan for Tavares. 1 minute it's Sociedad, then it's going to France with Marseille. Now it's Brighton. You would learn a lot. They can play a back four, they could play a back three. Graham Potter's a fantastic manager, a fantastic tactician, really and truly. So could work with him, really. You know, I don't know if Brighton, he makes them mistakes over them sides, innit? And maybe back three tax, he might benefit. But allegedly, they're interested in him. Is it a dry loan with a loan fee? Is there an option to buy? If you're looking at him to be the replacement for Cucurella, then fair play. I don't really believe loan. I hope he can turn into a £60 million plus player so that we might just say, you know what, sell, loan clause, wish bash boss. So we'll have to see, really and truly. So that's that. What's this? Arsenal to submit offer for Yuri Telemans, alternative shortly, and the player is keen. Arsenal would submit an offer for Juventus midfielder Arthur Melo soon, according to reports. I mean, we're getting bored of hearing this. What's this? Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal could try to sign Paul Torres. I don't think so, but I mean, if we was prepared to put an outlay on Lisandro Martinez, maybe. I don't think Paul Torres can play as a left back, but I don't know. He is a good player, though. He's been linked with Barca and a whole heap of clubs. Apparently, many clubs are in for Gabriel, but it's not going to be an easy one because Arsenal have no intention of selling him. But many clubs are tracking this deal. And let's see what happens with Arsenal for Paul Torres. In case some top club will arrive for Gabriel, he could be an option for Arsenal. So you done us with the clickbait. Fair enough. That, you know, that's 2 and 2 and getting 5. Torreira left our pre-season camp tour early and he's flown back to Italy for personal reasons. Now, I hope these personal reasons are transfers. He's been linked with a bunch of Italian clubs and Spanish clubs and things. I hope it's nothing in his personal life. Obviously, he lost his mum to COVID not too long ago. And yeah, man, it's not nice, innit? So you hope it's nothing serious. But Torreira has flown back for whatever reason. People, the 26-year-old. Arteta hasn't said anything, but it's not known, innit? Hopefully, it's just simply to focus on the transfer and nothing too serious. Journalist says Arsenal could sign Ace relatively quickly if they make a bid. I mean, we keep hearing this around Telemans. We bid for the guy. The guy wants to sign. Personal terms are not a thing. It's getting boring now, isn't it? And I just can't be asked, really. Again, this journalist kind of confirms people that Arsenal, this is where the primary source of the news came from. Arsenal have returned for Arthur Melo. We've returned to engage in dialogue with his entourage to try and get things happening, people. Juventus are looking at Paredes. So, yeah, as you know, Zinchenko was at there's many images in it, but he was at the ground yesterday, obviously seeing his potential new teammates. Hector Bellerin has rejected several offers to go to Italy. If he finally has to leave Arsenal, Hector only wants to play in Spain where he knows that Betis love him. The problem is his tab, 7 million. Although the fact that he only has 1 year left on his contract works in his favour. I mean, let's hope Bellerin keeps it moving. I mean, we know Telemans is a guy that we want. Arsenal have very, very real interest in Paqueta, who we hear could be done for 34 million recently. The challenge is agreeing a price. Although some are out there stating they may agree a cut price deal of closer to 50 or 35 million, the reality is that Orlas wants around 60 to 65 million euros. And even that's 15 million less than Lyon were asking for in January. As of yet, there's nothing advanced. There's nothing formal around either Arsenal or Newcastle. But what Arsenal are doing in particular is speaking directly to the player's agent rather than Lyon. And that's to establish if there's a genuine desire to move to Arsenal. If they get that buy-in, they may proceed later in the window. But if they don't, because they don't want to be involved in a bidding war, they won't proceed any further. It's very early stages. He's a player Arsenal admire, but there's nothing from that admiration that has translated into anything formal or advanced at this stage. Again, allegedly, there's a list of players Barcelona allegedly want people. As you look can see here, if the Conde thing where it looks like Chelsea have stolen the lead in that regards doesn't bang, then it looks like obviously Saliba is on the list. As you can see, Skriniar, who could be going PSG and looks to be going PSG, I swear. Ibanez, I think he plays in Italy. Inago Martinez, who last time I checked was at Sociedad, I don't know now. Gavido, who Arsenal, City, Chelsea, and now Barca will be linked with, going to cost upwards of 50 million from Leipzig. And Saliba's on that list, young French, they had my man, what's my man's name? That he went there too early though, and he went on loan to Nice, ironically played with Saliba, and he was at Toulouse. I can't remember the young French lad's name. But naturally, if they're looking at young French centre-backs, then Saliba's going to be there with his contract, with him becoming a French international and playing in France. So take of that what you will, especially with his contract subject to speculation. But allegedly, Barcelona could take out on top defensive target Jules Conde. How they're finding money for several players, only you lot know, people. So I don't know what's going on there. Allegedly, Serie A side keen on Arsenal man, but deal unlikely. Apparently, Torreira's been linked with a return to Sampdoria, but for whatever reason, they can't afford him. They can only offer Torreira a contract of 1 million euros a season at maximum. Florentina's current offer is at 2.7 million. Arsenal are asking for 15 million euros. I'm not gonna lie, I think everybody's trying to finesse us, especially with a year left. Where we just looked at Bellerin and Torreira. Boy, I mean, if you could let if you can let Lokonga go out alone and you say Torreira, stay for a year, even though I know it's not a thing. It's not the worst. We spoke about that yesterday. Nobody cares in relation to that. Let's spin the block for Arsenal again. Oh shit, yeah, people. That Rob Holding's comments as well. We can look at that in a sec. What's this? I think Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Paqueta interest. What has he said specifically? At the moment, there's nothing close for Arsenal. There's an interest because Edu, of course, with his Brazilian links, knows the player so well and had some contact with his agents, but never submitted a proposal. Crazy. Arsenal set to launch Arthur Melo bid. It's getting boring, isn't it, people? So what's going on there? What's the plan? Are we haggling over Telemans? Are we doing a bit of what happened with Odegaard? Obviously, Marcelo Flores has gone to Oviedo. Are we playing a bit of Koi over Odegaard? Because we got Odegaard in the end. We got Partey in the end. Is that the game? Is that what we're somewhat running? Sorry, folks. What's going on here? I'm trying to... Where is it, man? I'm trying to... Rob Holding had an interview where he was talking bossy, but let's see what he said, people. I think that's the only thing we can look at, people. I mean, Holding's meaty, but he's a player I got time for, innit? We've all got one meaty guy we got a soft spot for. Rob Holding. I've seen centre halves come and go. I'm still here. I must be doing something right. Hiding. I've been here 7 years now, and the club have made other signings at centre back. Since I've been here, it comes down to me backing myself and proving to the manager that I'm good enough to play, and that's spoken for itself over the past 6 years. I mean, you have done that at time. I've seen a few centre-backs that have come in and have now gone. I'm still here, so I must be doing something right. It's another challenge, and we go from there. Holding went on to say, last season, there were only 3 centre-backs, really. By the end, there was only me, Gabby, and Ben White, and we were getting thin. Ben was carrying some knocks. Ben White, Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Saka, Partey, Xhaka, even though he's durable, too many players have had to play with knocks. Ben was carrying some knocks, and I had a bit of a knock on the knee and was getting through games from the Chelsea away game. So we were fighting to get through those last couple of games, and that's Arteta and Eddie's fault because we streamlined the squad or didn't prepare last summer properly. But we've got some bodies in with Saliba back, and then Maria's back too, so it gives us a bit more depth if we do have a couple of injuries again. Marie go yard, bro. But yeah, he said, I don't want to look back at my career and say, oh, I played really great in the last 10 minutes of games. I don't want to be known as a 5-3-2 defender that comes on and sees out games, as funny and as amusing as it is. I want to look back at my career and think I've played a hell of a lot of games. And if that's for Arsenal, then great. But whatever happens, I'm not going to just give up and be like, because I'm not starting, I'm not interested in coming on and helping the team. But if I'm getting on the pitch, then I'm going to be there and doing my best for the team and helping them get to where they want. I mean, A bit like Xhaka, I'd be open to offers for Holding, even by Arsenal standards. If you can't make a profit on that 2 million you spent, there's issues. And I remember before Holding got that long-term injury where he had a little clash with Rashford, he was playing quite well. Shout out to Holding for that. He then spoke about probably going to Newcastle in the summer of 2020. He said, it was always going to be a loan. I was just coming back from my ACL injury and thought I needed a full season of playing. But after the Community Shield against Liverpool, the boss said to me, you're going to play here. I don't know why you're planning on going on loan. And I said, if I'm going to play here, then yeah, I'm happy, no problem. And then it ended up playing 35 odd Premier League games that year. All right. Of course, we're disappointed. When we're looking at the table, we had the points advantage in games in hand. Games in hand need to correlate to actual points on the board. It was a bit like, oh, we could do this. We could achieve what had been our end goal since the start of the season. And I think there are a couple of games where we didn't perform to our best. We lost 5 of the last 10 and we just sort of let it slip away, bottling. We had a few injuries and sort of lost the team and lost important individuals. He then spoke on the Spurs game. It stayed with me for a few days after. I remember the next day we were off and I was taking the dog for a walk and I was just walking and I was just thinking over and over in my head, what could I have done different? To be fair, you and Cedric will be doing bug stuff, but I think Arteta didn't set you up well. You know, Son likes to, drop deep and things like that. You could see before you got sent off, you could see he was getting fouls off Cedric and Holding. If we went to a back three, then obviously as a back three, you could say one of the centre halves get tight or Cedric get tight, let me drop off. You lot were playing shit, but that's another example of Arteta being naive for me, especially with them last couple of games. What could I have done different? Could I have maybe had a different body shape or not quite been as tight? I didn't want Son to have a free run, so I wanted to make it a bit of a physical battle. It is what it is. You can't dwell on it too much. You've got to move on. Games come thick and fast. I obviously missed the Newcastle game and then was back for Everton in the last game of the season when there was still a chance of top 4 if Tottenham's result went our way. Lol. I'm not even going to carry on. And then again, this is another man who said it. Odegaard has said it. Xhaka has said it. Everybody has said it. We want Champions League qualification. We've got 2 opportunities. You've got the top 4 in the Europa League. My preference would be to have both. Amen. A bit. Xhaka said he'd rather the Europa League. Couple men have said 4th. It is what it is. It's followed me around from when I was at Bolton. Through the age groups, I was always a captain of the team. It was a blessing and sometimes a curse. You're sort of expected to be the one that steps up, even though you've not been chosen to be one. It means setting the standards, doing things right. And I think, I look at the game where, not last season, the season before, I think Holding really managed Saka through that game. And I look at Holding alerting authorities and whatnot, not in a snitching thing, but to the racist abuse at West Brom. I mean, Holding, you can see why he's part of the leadership group, but that's all I hype, man. I like it, but man need good players first and foremost. Don't be doing anything stupid, messing up or being late. It's just simple stuff. It should be a given. That's how I was brought up by my dad. He was a stickler for rules, and that's rubbed off on me. I've always ended up being one of the guys to help people learn and develop. And who is it? What player? I can't remember the player, but somebody in one of the new signings said, Holding said, just come and sit down right next to me. It might have been Matt Turner. You like to see that integration, people. We all know Holding's partner is American. We all know he loves America. It is what it is, man. I don't want to waffle about that. Holding is obviously 26. He has said, I always think that later on in my career, when I'm like 29, people will think, wow, he's been around for a while. Towards the end of my career, people will realize, oh my God, he's still quite young, and they'll appreciate how long I've been around. Shout out Rob Holding, man. Rob Holding, he's better than Cannavaro. My centre halves, Diego Costa in a belief, Koscielny could never. Shout out Monreal as well. What we could do with a Monreal, Santi Cazorla in this squad, We are quite a young team. We have a couple of senior guys like me, Xhaka, Partey, Onene, Cedric, Lol. We've all got a bit of age and a bit of experience, but we've also got that young enthusiasm and energy, which I think makes for a really good balance right now. It's a good group as well. The best thing about this trip has been team togetherness. I saw it towards the end of the season last year, and it's carried on as we've left off. Everyone's together. We're all on the same wavelength, which is good. Hopefully that rings true when there's moments of adversity as well. He's then kept waffling about it's a good group. I'm not going to keep reading on that. He did speak about the away shirt that we've got, and he said, I remember the Tony Adams quote, play for the badge on the front of the shirt, and they'll remember the name on the back. It's a constant reminder of the pride people have for this shirt. So yeah, man, big up Rob Holding and that, man. Propaganda piece working very decent there. Shout out Rob Holding for that one. But In relation to transfer news and anything Arsenal related, Arthur Melo, Telemans, Paqueta, Zinchenko, that seems to be it, man. It seems like all we're missing is I's dotted and T's crossed in relation to Zinchenko, and then it is what it is, people. Lovely comments, keep them coming in. Sorry for airing you lot. Let's get back into it, people. One love. Tierney, Tomiyasu Party have to stay fit. It's going to be key for us in doing well this season. Arteta has to manage this trio better. Amen. But easier said than done. I don't know why Tomiyasu is getting slandered. Deluded, you hit the nail on the head. How good are Arsenal at their worst? Improve the area automatically. Everything else must be improved. Again, I don't ask Arsenal anything that I don't ask myself. You know, if I look at myself as a content creator, as much as I love being here with you lot, you know, things go on in my personal life. I'm not necessarily in the best of moods, you know. Technology and things could be playing a part. How good are you at your worst when you don't want to do something or things are tough? How good are you then? The key word is discipline. It's difficult to do the right things, and football reflects that, like society. I would have loved Bassi, man, but he's going over there to Ajax. Ain't a good look for the lad. It would have been dream chasing to say we could sign Sol Campbell. To be fair, not really, because you know we was a dramatically bigger club than Spurs at the time, which we still are. Where's their trophies at? He was a free agent. I hear you. Yo, D just subbed, big up. Appreciate that, Jay. Honestly, Nketiah looked better when playing with Jesus. They link up well. Smith Rowe is in limbo at the moment. I don't know how he fits in. He'll be all right, man. Smith Rowe will be all right. Big up DG. Was nice seeing Cecil get the last question in at Arteta's interview. Shout out Cecil, man. We also have potential for loans. I mean, we're going to have to get a move on in that regards. Putting all my savings on Everton going down, it's a no-brainer. Rich, man, less of that. I think you lot will stay up. But then again, when you're getting smacked against Minnesota, it's not a good look, is it? 287 likes, people. We're flirting with 300. I know you haven't hit the like button. Look at me. I know you ain't hit that like button. Hit that. Let me scroll the way up. I know I'm missing things out. I don't want to miss anyone. A man said, if Jesus is overspending, Central see Nunes is daylight robbery. The issue with the criticisms of failing to sign strikers is sign who? Anyone worth it, as Liverpool, City, Barca, Madrid in for them. The rest are expensive gambles. Amen. I can't lie, bro. I'm just happy that I would have taken Dominic Calvert-Lewin for the squad if he's available for a cut price. Why not? But we was in the gutter, man. Fans were rationalising, especially Ollie Watkins. He's an Arsenal fan. He can play on the left, bro. I'm cool with Eddie Nketiah and Jesus. I can't lie. We was in the gutter, really. We was in the gutter. Fans were rationalising some BS. I see us having more one-off poor games rather than long continued streaks of poor games, which, if I'm right, would be a big improvement. I hope so, but I don't know, bro. I would love Leroy Sané. What a name. Your name is Banduli, but what a name, bro. But the dream is free. The hustle was sold separately, bro. You know we're not getting Sané. I hope to wake up and think, wow, but yeah, man. I mean, that's what you want to see with Jesus, man. A bit like Odegaard, and to be fair, even Partey. Slightly Ben White yesterday, you know. Pepe looked a bit better before he got clipped. And that's where people fail to understand relationships throughout the whole team, but relationships with the strikers, with the midfielders and strikers, fullbacks with wingers with strikers and midfielders. Football's about relationships, coaching, improving centre-half pairing. These things are not sexy, and especially not in Premier League where money, new signings. That's the way of everything, really. I want a FIFA Torreira, but we're at where we're at, man. If I'm completely honest. Lovely questions, lovely talking points. Top form as always from the DG Nation. You lot are amazing, man. We need Telemans end off to Debo. That's the name I was looking for. Large up yourself, TM, for saying that. I don't think Milinkovic-Savic is leaving, but the dream is free. Also sold separately. I like Holding, but he's meaty, man. Kudos to Gabriel. Just could have easily scored 2 goals against Orlando, but second-guessed himself twice. Charles slightly should have had 2 assists in 1 game as well for Saka, but it's cool, man. Holding, Bellerin post ACL. They never looked the same afterwards. Bellerin lost his pace. Holding 2. We need to learn how to sell and let go. There was a point where Ainsley broke into the England team. We should have sold him then. You're right, still. Good point about 3 at the back. Sometimes we need to do that. That's why 4 centre-backs going into next season is risky business. I can't lie, Matt Turner, no agenda, and I hope to be proven wrong, and I've got no case study, but I'm not convinced. I think we're in big trouble if Ramsdale's injured. But you have said sell Leno, which we're at where we're at. Sell Leno, Marie, Bellerin, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Torreira, Pepe. I think you said loan to a Premier. I think you said sell Pepe. I think you actually mean loan out. Balogun, Nelson, Tavares. Ideally Premier League, but yeah, man. When Tierney's fully fit, you think Zinchenko plays a left-sided 8 potentially, or he could keep Tierney out the side. We've got pressure. I say a bit harsh your folks naming you to do the trials. What's this hate for Lokonga? He's 22 and arguably the best. Was arguably the only good player in the first half. Him and Elneny, I hear that. I do like these signings so far. Don't know much about Vieira, but time will tell. Anthony, you said it there, innit? I don't know, bro. Let him know, bro. I don't know what Dookie was on with that one. I hope Arthur is a pawn for Yuri Telemans or Paqueta. I hope so. I hope we're soon cooking, man. I hope we're soon cooking. We need a functional kitchen at this moment in time. I think the builders are putting in the kitchen and that. Now let's get a decent chef, because the meals were bandulu, man. They belong in Gordon Ramsay's Hell Kitchen last year. The meals that we're trying to serve up, some fans with the saving wages, with, you know, Tavares and Marie and all these guys, and so man, we're advocating for Ainsley Maitland-Niles in midfield. It's different, man. Every time Jesus was holding his leg, we're all scared, man. I mean, we need a lot, man. I don't buy that. I mean, I, as a common football fan, can't list that, but I don't agree with there's a shortage of midfielders. Obviously strikers there is. Right back. Scout and do your job, because a year from now, we'll be waffling about the same guys, really. Shout Nepal. Never seen you lot locked in, but shout the Nepalese. Is it Nepalese? Shout the ones from Nepal as well, man. One thing you got to love about YouTube and football, we're connected across many different countries and cultures, man. We signed Austin Tusty from you guys here at Birmingham City. We'll look after him. Don't worry. Charles, you don't want to buy him permanently? I told you Ben White's not a good defender, not even close. A bit harsh. Saliba is better than White. I would keep Leno. I hear that. We was Morley cooking. City and Liverpool got Michelin stars, man. Said Morley, blood. Them Buki shops, man. Them Buki East End. So big up my East Londoners. Them Buki food shops from East End, man. That's what we're doing. No food ratings. In England, I think it's a bit dodgy. I think technically you actually don't have to display your food hygiene rating. Racy in this land, eh? Racy. Don't seem like there's anything else. I think if anything, Nuno Tavares going on loan or doing something is what's dominating anything close to talking points. Let me have a butchers on social media. See what we can look at. Apparently, well, it's completely irrelevant to Arsenal, but George Mendes is making it clear to clubs put off by his wages that Ronaldo is willing to take a significant pay cut, potentially as high as 30%. Pardon me, Ronaldo remains interested in Atletico Madrid move, but club continue to distance themselves. I mean, he's got his boy João Felix. United might as well try a thing, see if they could bandulu that. Let's see what's going on in the world of Arsenal. Don't think there's going to be anything. Obviously, Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, and Eddie were all at the game yesterday, as was Zinchenko. I don't think that means much. So there's nothing on that one. Let's go over here. Don't seem like there's anything there. Let's go over here. Yeah, man, it don't look like there's any positive Kool-Aid juice for us Arsenal fans, if I'm completely honest with you. But yeah, it is what it is. Kind of really want Lucas Paqueta to arrive, but we're at where we're at, man. Saliba or Ben White. I'd rather Saliba, but I don't think Saliba, Gabriel, or Ben White are clear of each other. Out of the three, Gabriel plays every day of the week for me. I'd prefer Saliba, but I do think Ben White's a good player, and I do think, especially when it comes into playing progressive passes, he helps us a lot. I do think all our centre halves, even if Saliba plays, because we don't have them midfielders, I think there's a disconnect when it comes to playing progressive passes. We over-rely on Ramsdale's passing. We over-rely on Ben White and Gabriel, even though playing out from the back is a modern thing, because we haven't got them midfielders. Even the Everton game, I love the pressing, the intensity and everything, but it's Granit Xhaka and Partey, they're not the guys like that. They can play good progressive passes, but they can't do that several times a game. And I think we're going to live or die by midfield. Obviously, we need to score goals. We need to keep clean sheets. We need better game management. Many mental things need to improve. But Yeah, man. I think a big part is that disconnect in midfield. I think you look at City, yeah, they've got fantastic players on the ball in defence. The same goes for Liverpool, but they're never overcompensating. I see too many times Ben White and Gabriel charge up with the ball and they're literally looking for options. There's nothing there. It's a sideways pass, or they might try the movie pass. There's only so many times you could do that. Or Ramsdale as well into Saka, Martinelli, or Smith Rowe in the channels. There's only so many times you can do that before a team reads exactly what you're doing. And then obviously you can't get onto the ball. If you can't get onto the ball, you can't play on you can't play